What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Dima, white folks music. Drew Barrymore is a very, very popular American actress, director, producer, businesswoman, all of those things, right? She's been on a lot of, movies with Adam Sandler and things like that, talk shows. She does it all. She's actually from a really good acting family. So she was born to do what she does. And many people, especially like in her younger years, things like that, maybe even today, thought she was quite attractive. But what happens though with celebrities, this is kind of what I'm figuring out, that, being a celebrity and actually staying married, it's kind of difficult for a lot of people. And Drew Barrymore has been really adamant about how she's done with marriage, right? She's been talking about it not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times, like, angry voice, I'm done with marriage. I can't stand it. All right, Drew, we got you. You want to get married? That's cool. But then guess what? While she doesn't want to get married, she starts crying because it's pretty hard dating as a single mom. Because she says this with tears in her eyes. Dima, sad music. I don't know how to date with kids, I'm not there yet. I have 2 young girls. And I'm like, I don't want to bring people home. I think that it would take me a very long to meet someone and to get to know them before I could even introduce them to my daughters. I've never realized and said aloud that I don't know how to date with kids. My kid. Here's a good part. Sad music. My kid's dad is happily. Angry music. Happily remarried with the most wonderful woman in the world. I really hate her, but I'm pretending to like her right now. Stop the show. I had to just add that in there. My children. Angry music. My children have this extraordinary stepmom. Our process have been different. So let me just talk about that. So there are a few things she's saying. Number 1, she doesn't want to ever be married again. Now, is she saying that because she actually hates being married? Because her ex-husband, Will Koppelman, is happily married to what the lady Drew Barrymore said is the best woman in the world, which would even be more wonderful than her. Okay? So that's one thing. But the next thing is that she doesn't want to be married, right? I want to talk about that again. Or is it that nobody wants to marry you? Can I get a ooh sound effect? Now, this is just the Caucasian way of saying this, right? I don't ever want to be married again. And, if I'm afraid to meet somebody, I don't know how to date with kids because I don't know how to introduce them to my daughters. Let me just say this, Drew Barrymore, this is not 20 years ago when you're at age 26. You're Drew Barrymore at age 46. Now, this is not about looks, okay? But sometimes what I feel like is when people have been married for so long, they're no longer in that reality of what the dating market is like. And I'm gonna translate some things for her, okay? Because she never, again, it's 4 times, ever wants to get married again. And it's possibly that the guy that you wanna date would never, ever marry you. Okay, that's probably what it really is. But you don't know how to date with kids. It's very possible, Drew, that guys are just not really checking for you. All right, it's like, I think a lot of times people put more on it than what it really is. And when they do that, they're pretty much saying is, I can't get a date with a guy that I like. What they're saying is, I don't have any potential for a guy that I like. The guy that I would want to date me, he's not interested in me, and that's why I'm crying, because I don't know how to date with kids, because the guy that I would like to date possibly won't date me. Because let me just say this, you don't hear April Jones saying that. You don't hear Moniece Slaughter saying that. I mean, we'll stop the show. Well, those were single moms as it was. But you just don't hear women that have at least some dating options say that. Drew Barrymore has already accepted the fact her husband moved on. It was very easy for him to move on, okay? And you think that is you. It's your choice. you're not ready, you want to wait. As if like, you know, there's a lot of guys out there waiting for you to just be like, okay, Drew, you know, at age 46, for rich people like you, and the men that are like you are guys who have access to the industry. They're professional guys out there. They're just all waiting to beat down your door until you're ready. Like, that's just like Terrell Owens at age 48, acting as if people want him to play wide receiver for them in the league today. That's why he's begging the Buccaneers, hey, if you guys don't want Antonio Brown, take me. All right? It's just not what it is. There's just not a lot of people that are standing up out there saying, hey, I want to be with Drew Barrymore because you're the greatest thing in the world. Life doesn't work like that. If you don't want to date and you don't want to get married, Drew, let me say this. Nobody cares. All right? Nobody cares. A lot of these guys don't care. Probably a lot of guys forgot about you years ago. Okay? It's just not that serious. And a lot of ladies do that to make themselves feel more important than they are. Like, you're done with marriage. Who cares? You're having problems dating because you're now a single mom and you don't want to introduce those people to your kids. Like, let's just think about this. If you're a successful guy and you're rich like Drew Barrymore or close to that, what is it that you're going to get for a woman that's telling you, I never want to get married again? The woman probably can't have children anymore. So I want to, fight and date you so I can be in your kid's life when I'm a man that is somewhat high value and I want to play second fiddle to all of that. Because Drew Barrymore is not going to date a bum. Drew Barrymore would want to date a man that is, I would assume, fairly good looking, in the top 1% elite guy. What guy is going to settle for that? He's just not. The attitude is already messed up. You don't want to be married. You don't want to be a wife. And you seem to be like crying over something so you don't want to be married, but then at the same time, you don't know how to date. You don't know what you want, do you? And this is one of those confused things that keeps a lot of guys away from like certain ladies. Like this is something that's completely turned off. You don't have as many options as you think, boo. I don't know why where are you at? But this is entitlement. You had a good husband, obviously. You messed that up. He goes on and gets married to another lady. Your daughters love him. And it hasn't been that way. You thought the grass was greener on the other side. It's not. And unfortunately, a lot of ladies have to understand it like that. When it's done, it's always, you didn't appreciate the guy when you had him. And now here you are crying about it. You're not crying because you're not a date with kids. You messed up a great marriage. The end. He was able to move on and you can't. Now you're acting like you could if you wanted to. You cannot like you could before, most likely. That's what happens to a lot of ladies, unfortunately, when they have children and the husband's no longer there. Their dating options just a little bit more difficult because of work, because of everything else. And obviously you have young women. I understand that too. But let's not act like, people are like looking down to beat down your door. It's not the case. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, OJ Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.